Hey, what's up, everybody? For about the past week now, I've been rolling my own cigarettes here. Um, and basically, like a habit just turned into a hobby now. But anyway, uh, last week I went to the cigarette shop and I got this, which is a cigarette rolling machine, and it comes with this stuff here. This is a nozzle, and this is a tamper. I'll show you what that's for in a second. And then that's a pair of tweezers and an Allen wrench. So I've figured out that I need a couple of extra tools to go along with this to make the rolling easier. This machine here, I'll show you how it works in a second. This machine here is for making 100 millimeter size cigarettes, which is like what they call 100s. The 70 millimeter size would be kings. So this one's not adjustable, and it's about as manual as you can get. But I just started this like I said last week, so I'm new at this still. So I just basically got the starter kit, and actually this stuff isn't sold together. This is a cigarette box. This is when you roll the cigarettes, you stick them in here. So basically this is just the startup kit, the startup stuff you need. These machines, they have better machines that I've seen, but they cost like 50 bucks. So just starting out, I didn't even know if I'd stick with this, so I just went with the $6 model, and it does work, but like I said, it's about as manual as you can get. How it works is, this is your, what's that called? You got your base, the nozzle. This is your nozzle. That's a spare one, but you can see how it's designed, and that's where you put your cigarette tube on. And a cigarette tube, here they are. Okay, there you go. A cigarette tube just goes on the end right there. And then you fill this with tobacco, the leaf tobacco that comes in the bag, I'll show you. And you put that down, and I'm not going to do it because it'll tear up the tube if I do it empty. But that's a tube, and it just, the tobacco slides in there. And how it works is when you put the tube on there, this is your gripper, and that comes down when you have the tube in there. That comes down on the tube, and your tobacco is packed in here, and then you slide it back this way. You make sure this part is locked. You make sure you bring that all the way down with your thumb and your forefinger and make sure that's locked. And you actually do it on the table. And then you hold this part and then you slide it back. And what's going on in here while you're doing that is that you pack the tobacco in here, you put your tube on, you bring the gripper down and lock it and slide it back. And what's going on in here is where the tobacco's packed and you got the tube sticking out there. As you're dragging the tube backwards, it's pushing the tobacco in. You see that little, I'd call it a push rod, but this pusher, this actually sits still, and you drag the tube over the tobacco, and it pushes it in there. This is actually called an injector. It's not an actual cigarette roller. It's actually an injector, and that's basically how it works. And let me show you. Let me demonstrate actually how to roll a cigarette now. Okay, I won't try to keep everything in the shot here, but limited workspace. Alright, this is the tobacco here, and this is a 8-ounce bag of top regular premium cigarette tobacco, and it comes with the Ziploc top, whatever you call it, resealable. So we're going to take a little handful of tobacco and put it out there, and then reseal the bag. You don't want to leave the tobacco sitting out too much. You don't want to put too big of a pile out there, because what happens is it dries up really quick. When you first take it out of the bag, it's kind of moist, but it dries up quick, and it's chilly out today, so I have the heater on, and that doesn't help. So anyway, you take the tobacco and you stick it in the tobacco, I keep forgetting what that thing's called. That's your not your nozzle, the tobacco slot. So what you do is fill this up, and it's kind of loose right now. So it looks like you got more than you need in there. But once you pack it down, that's what you use this for. This is your tamper. You're going to pack that down. I'm doing this at a weird angle, trying to get it into the frame. So I'm going to pack that down. And when you pack it down, tamp it down, what you want to do is get it to where once you tamp it down, it'll like come back up a little bit. And in this tray, you're going to see where this is kind of concave, convex, concave. I don't know which it is. It goes like that, like a curve. I know concave goes in, convex goes out, but I don't know how you describe that. I'm not sure which. But anyway, when you tamp it down, when you tamp the tobacco down and it comes back up, you want it to be right about at this. I know it's hard to see, but at this height, because this part here, when you close this and lock it, that's going to pack down the rest of it. And also you'll see that when you pack it, there's a little bit of loose tobacco like over the nozzle, and we want to like get that cleared out of there. And I just tap it out like that because, and this is one of the uses for the pliers, or not the pliers, but the tweezers. If there's anything in there, you're going to have a hard time getting that tube over it. So you make sure that's clear. And then what I do is I just like use a tamper to get the loose tobacco out of the way off the surface. And then you take a tube and you put the tube, it's hard to get it at this angle, but stick the tube over the nozzle. Whoops. And that could happen. That's one of the uses for the pliers. I keep calling them pliers, I mean the tweezers. But you slide the tube over the nozzle, bring down the lock, make sure it's locked right there, because if it's not all the way down, it'll not work very well. You'll ruin the tube. And okay, so like normally I'm not going to be able to do it with staying in the camera shot, but you grab it here with your left hand and then you drag it back with your right. And what's going on here is, like I said earlier, what's going on here is that pusher, it's as you're dragging the tube back this way, that tube keeps the tobacco where it's at and slides it into forces it into this tube. And then we're going to slide it back just like that and lift it up. Now it's designed so where you can just pull the tube right off of there. It's actually done now, but this is what I use the Allen wrench for, because I found that when you just pull the tube off of it like that after it's packed, some of the tobacco stays in the nozzle. So what I do is I use this Allen wrench to push it out like that, and then you've got what about 9 times out of 10 becomes a perfect cigarette. And I realize I'm out of frame, but there you go. You see how it burns. Burns easily. Like I didn't, well, as I say in high school, somebody loves me, I guess. I didn't light it all the way. Let me try again. Alright, there we go. But anyway, when you pack them good like that, you don't want to pack them, like overpack them, but when you pack them good like that, they'll burn evenly and steadily, and like you can sit it in an ashtray and it won't go out. And oh, and another use for the tweezers I was telling you about. Sometimes when you pull these tubes out of the box, they might be kind of like bent on the end. Or sometimes when you're going to put it on the nozzle, there might be some tobacco in the way, or you just don't line it up quite right, and you'll bend the end. You'll bend the tip a little bit to where it won't fit on there. And that's what I use the tweezers for, is I just stick the tweezers in there and spin the tube a little bit, and I can usually get it to where it'll go back on there without wasting the tube. This box of 2 tubes for 200 tubes. Costs about actually $5. It's like $4.88 or something like that. And the bag of tobacco, that's 8 ounces sells for about $31 to $33, depends on where you go. And you get about 2 cartons of cigarettes out of that, 2 cartons of 100s I got out of the last bag, basically, roughly. So that brings, at 2 packs a day, I was spending about $70 a week on cigarettes. And with this stuff, it's hard to tell because I bought the boxes and all that stuff with it, and the machine and everything. But just for the tobacco and the tubes, I probably went through a box and a half of tubes, which is say $7.50, and one bag of tobacco. Not even that. Yeah, about one bag of tobacco, but that's including all the extra cigarettes I rolled for friends to get them to try them and stuff. Let them try them. I sound like a pusher. Hey man, you want to smoke? It's cool. But no. I guess averaging it out, let's say $32 for the bag of tobacco and $8 for the tubes. So I guess now I'm spending $40 a week compared to the $70 I was spending. And on top of that, there's no extra chemicals in this tobacco. Like when you buy a pack of Pall Mall or whatever, they have all those extra chemicals in there. I mean, nicotine's a chemical, sure, but it doesn't have all that extra stuff like arsenic and all that other stuff. I don't know what they use. Oh, and the box, like I was telling you in the beginning of the clip, the box is what you keep the cigarettes in. Where's my Allen wrench? Push that out, and then put it in the box. I'm trying to do that where you can see it. So you put it in the box, and then one box holds 18, and of course this is for 100s. So each box holds 18 cigarettes. Then you got something to carry your cigarettes around with. I'm actually going to get something a little bit classier than that, but like I said, this is the starter setup, and I didn't even know if I was going to stick with it, and this is practical and it does work for now. It's just not very stylish. But alright everybody, that's my new hobby. Thanks for watching.